Anybody else have a couple questions on Facebook specifically? One second.
Yeah, I'm curious, what are your thoughts for like when the season will start and end for BFCM? Because the trend that we've seen is needing to start earlier and earlier just to get ahead of the competition, to get our ads enough impressions to sort of have some footing to scale up high enough during the peak days. So for us, our holiday season starts in October.
Yeah.
Who else's holiday season starts in October? Couple hands?
Yeah.
In November? Okay.
Yeah, so our holiday season starts in October. We do like a pre-BFCM flash sale at the very end of October, and then we start our Black Friday sale first week of November, and we're pushing a post-Black Friday December sale, so now it's like BFCM quarter. So curious what you guys are predicting in terms of how to plan and schedule.
Yeah, I'll go real quick.
Keep it for now.
Every year it's so interesting. I looked at the metrics and I'm happy to share if you want to reach out to me. I have the actual percentages of when people are buying and it's been pushed up. So it was 2020 to 20, no, we're in 2023 now. Wow, life. 2021 to 2022 and how it pushed up to October. So I think you're right on the mark there. I think also something to consider too is what is your BFCM lead up? So like what does that strategy look like? So right now we're driving traffic, right? Heavy traffic, so then we can acquire new customers at a lower cost, hopefully. And then, we'll retain them, and then there's the LTV factor, right? Those are the three pillars we always look for. So I think October, you're right on the mark as early as possible, but what are you doing to drive traffic? I wanna give a shout out to Ridge real quick, because I'm looking at these ads and I see that giveaway. Is everyone looking at that giveaway of that really beautiful car? Is it a Bronco?
I think it's a Bronco, yeah.
Yeehaw, because I wanted Bronco, but I don't because the gas, wow. But anyway, shout out to Ridge, right? And the new product offerings with the rings, et cetera, right? So they're just constantly driving traffic, and how they're doing that is really smart. And if we can think outside the box, and I always said this, how do we create silence in a sea of noise? You're already winning. So sure, October. I think we also kind of drive the market a little bit, right? Whoever starts first, then we push. But yeah, I think you're right on the mark. And if anything, it's always gonna get sooner.
Yeah, I wanted to add one thing to that too. Like, it's one thing to think about that in a macro sense. It's another thing when you're talking about like unit economics of digital marketing. You have to remember that Q1 CPMs are the lowest of the year. You also know that buying behavior is most aspirational for ourselves. And generally speaking, those folks, that is the cheapest time to acquire new customers. Come Q2, advertising costs go up. The primary reason they go up, obviously there's outside factors. Like, I mean, there's, TV shows, sweep, stuff like that. Like, I've spent $1 million a day for CBS, and it's just like there's a bunch of people like that just blowing money. But you also have to remember, like, there are environmental factors of supply and demand. As soon as you start hitting summer times, like, people are on their devices for less time each day, for less often, and their spending behavior's down. By the time Q3 rolls around, we're kind of over that bell curve and returning back to normal. By Q4, we have the most inventory of any time of the year and the highest spending behavior, intent throughout the whole year. So what I would like you to think about maybe is less of what's the holiday season and more of it's Q4. How am I going to use this opportunity? And I think a lot of people use that to say, I'm gonna drive the best discounts I can to get the most customers I can for the cheapest price. I would challenge that to say that's the job of Q1. In Q4, you have the choice of trying to acquire the lowest value customers because the price conscious, the idea of them giving you more LTV is, they're the worst LTV customers you can get. So you can make the lowest margin on the lowest quality customers at the highest scale. Or you can say user intent is the highest, and I can get the highest value customers, selling them the highest value products and jacking up my AOV in a way that also pushes out the cash flow cycle. So if in Q1, I'm selling things where that person's gonna get a smaller pack and they're likely to come back at smaller offer and they're gonna come back sooner. In Q4, that is also extended. So by the time Q2 rolls around next year, you're getting the Q4 rollover cash flows and the Q1 rollover cash flows. So when Facebook becomes expensive, you don't really give a shit because all of your customers in Q4 and Q1 are coming back to buy again. So I would say that I don't think of it as holiday season. I think of it as the average unit economics of the market And a Black Friday sale is just another brand term thrown onto something as a sales pitch.
Awesome. Manu?
Yeah, he kind of answered my question right there, but I'll tell you something that makes me nervous. Like, nobody really talks about it because Black Friday, all people think is, we're gonna break records in sales and revenue. That it seems all that matters in e-commerce, and it makes me nervous because what's the real health of your business, right? Like, are you profitable? Is it gonna put you in a hole? Last Black Friday was the best 2 weeks in revenue, like individual weeks of the whole year, right, for us.
Sure.
Great weeks, broke records, we're super excited. It put us on a hole because we spent a lot of money to bring those customers in ads, of course. The main ads plus the Black Friday ads, we spent a lot of money. Also, we blew a lot of inventory, and then you gotta make up for that inventory. Yeah. You gotta pay for it, right? So is it worth it, like pushing that hard, or you just gotta keep, because I run my business on a daily P&L. For me, profit is main. I have a finance background, right? So It's very important for me. So is it worth it, or should you just use your first party data to run the sales? So, sometimes I think the holiday season might not be as worthy to push so hard because it can put you in a hole. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, how many of you guys are considering not doing anything unique for Black Friday and just status quo, knowing that the moment in itself will drive more revenue? Do you mind sharing a little bit? What are you keeping it status quo? Are you doing anything unique, or you're just kind of changing over banners?
I feel like a lot of it, there's a lot of buyer intent, and every year that I've tried something new, it basically it always goes back to the same easiest deal.
Which is usually what?
25% off. we run that 6 times a year, and never fails. So I think that there's already a lot of intent. So
sure,
you could just be spinning your gears for no reason.
Which is what you're is it anybody else on the same train of thought for that? Anybody else in the opposite train of thought where we are crafting something we've never done before, let's just see what happens? No?
Up at the front.
Good, probably shouldn't do that.
Shaq.
Wait, you're doing that? New product launch. Who's doing new product launch during major moments? Has anyone done this before and you liked it? What did you like about launching yours?
This is actually for our clients, but we've seen
up a little bit.
Up higher.
Yeah.
So we've seen that you already have the traffic, right? Everything already exists. You have everybody that's coming to your site. With the product launch, you just build more energy behind it. It's just something new. It's something fresh. It's something that gets them to the site beyond that 25% off. Something that I don't know what his name is. But
what was your name again? Ben.
Ben. What Ben was just saying is there's an energy in Q4, right? People are going to buy no matter what. They're there to spend money for the holiday season. A lot of times, if the discount doesn't auto-apply, they might not even actually use the discount code, right? So people are coming to your website. Getting that new product actually drives more people to the website, past purchases, because now they have a reason to come back.
Respect. I appreciate that.
I wanted to chime in really quick.
This is the last thing.
That's fine.
Cool.
That's fine.
Last chance.
Yeah, there was new product launches are really interesting. So to your question, I would say, like I said, get crafty. How do you drive traffic at the lowest cost possible? Qualified traffic, right? So you have to get creative. I've said this multiple times, so this is nothing breaking, news breaking. But again, Instagram Lives, if you have a really strong following, TikTok, what can you do, right, to drive that traffic? And then you've also got, let's just say, we talked about bundle deals, fine. But then if we really talk about, for example, product drops, what we did is every single week we had a new product, or every single day we had a product. We call them Holly deals. It's this idea, because I come from footwear, right? Does anybody like footwear? Yeah, cool. Awesome. So we saw a new drop, and we're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go to the site. I'm going to keep coming, right? How do you keep people coming and keep people interested? And then what we often saw is that the new product drops or the new releases that we had, they were buying those and not buying the discounted item. But then again, there's no definites, right? There's no one way to buy ads and there's no one way to do offers, but you have to think outside the box. And I do like the higher intent idea, right? So you want the best customers to come and buy from you rather than someone else, and you want the most. So how do you speak to those people? You have to have correct, I would say, data analysis to understand their buying behaviors. How are you speaking to them? And then for the new people that are coming in just because they're on a buying frenzy, how do you speak to them but lock them in to want to buy from you consistently? It's the why, not the how, always. So I would challenge you there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jeff, Charlie, and Phoenix, thank you guys very much.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you.